UFP, the United Federation of Podcasts.
Infinite diversity.
Live long and prosper, and welcome to Infinite Diversity, a Star Trek Universe podcast here on the United Federation of Podcast Networks. I'm your host for today, Brandon Shea Mutella, and joining me are my co-hosts, Chrissie and Thad. Chrissie, how are you doing today?
I'm not doing too badly. I'm just kind of looking out over my my lifetime collection of things that I've got from wars and feeling pretty good about it.
Excellent, right on. Well, you know, I did welcome Thad, but unfortunately he's not able to talk to us today because Chrissie has also collected his skull. And so we can't talk with him anymore, so it's a little creepy. Okay, but I mean, it's sitting there right next to Justin's skull.
Oh.
Just kidding. How's it going, Thad?
Do you have? Does Chrissie have a skull of everyone she's ever podcasted with?
Just the people who leave or she forces out.
Yeah.
I'm pretty good. I've got my. I'm very lonely in every universe, so I've got my digital cat here, but it's fine.
Yes, Patton Oswalt. Interesting choice for that voice.
Yes. I love that.
Interesting choice for that one here. Well, I'm doing okay. I'm just a little bit busy here. I'm seeking the Watcher. The Watcher. So we'll see what happens when I find the Watcher.
Very interested to find out what that is.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Isn't that the guy from the Marvel universe? I mean, it's the guy that was in.
So this is how
Country.
the Star Trek universe and the MCU combine.
We're continuing on with that. Yes, we are definitely continuing on with that. Excellent. So. Awesome. Well, before we jump into our topic today, we'd like to take a moment to thank our Patreon patrons who make our show possible, particularly our associate producers, David Willett and Justin Oser. Listeners, we'd love to add your name to this list, and we can do that with your monthly subscription of just $10 a month at patreon.com/UFPEarth. Okay, we've covered the news already this week, so we're going to just jump right into our discussion on Penance. Chrissie, after watching this, are you particularly regretful?
Yes, I require forgiveness and atonement in good Catholic fashion. I don't know why, but I will take whatever penance is required. I know the Padre, the Spiritus Sanctus, yes.
I don't know what they say, so...
It is the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. It's De Patre, De Fils, and De Spiritus Sanctus. There's your Latin for the day. All right, anyway.
What are your initial thoughts and first impressions of this very interesting episode?
Oh, anti-fascist commentary at its best. Right?
Indeed.
And timely and wonderful. This might... I was about to say this might be the most blatantly anti-fascist Star Trek has ever been, but no, I'll stick by that. The most. It's been anti-fascist before, certainly the entirety of DS9. So, but I think this is...
And there's the TOS episode where they literally fight Nazis.
Oh, that's right.
I'm
still going to say this is the most. Because I don't recall chanting of kill, kill, kill in any of those.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, this was a fantastic episode.
I just want to need your justification for like fascism being bad in this. If we end up with Gul Dukat finally dead,
I mean, a fascist killing another fascist is not like that much better.
Yeah, no, that's the answer.
Okay.
Mussolini and Hitler did not like each other, but that didn't mean we should like either of them.
Right, exactly.
Fair point. Thad, what are your initial thoughts and first impressions of Penance?
I love it. I always love when our character, I love most of the Mirror Universe episodes, so this is very in the same sort of vein as that. I love when we get to see our characters be evil, especially when it's especially in things like this where it's actually our not evil characters are appalled by the evil, that just makes it even cooler to me. Mm-hmm. And like I love that dynamic, and we get that in spades in this episode. I think it's fantastic. I loved seeing everything. I loved all the nods to everything. People have been complaining that we haven't had any DS9, but hey, we got a cameo from Dukat and Martok in this episode.
And a Cisco name drop.
So yes. Yeah.
I mean, we've had Nog and Eisenberg and everything on the Discovery already.
Yeah, but right? Dukat and Martok were on screen in this episode. So
fair enough. I'll go with that one. Yeah.
Also, can we just say for a second that Dukat skull looks disturbingly like Mark Alimo for a skull?
Does it? I didn't quite notice.
I never thought about that.
Looking at it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's Dukat. That's definitely Dukat. Like, it looks just like him.
So, do we have a deleted scene where Picard is saying, or when Q is saying that one skull is like Zek or Rom? Because there was a Ferengi skull there.
It's got to be Zek. Yeah. Like, I feel like
Zek.
Rom wouldn't have any... I doubt we'd have Grand Nagus Rom in this timeline.
That's fair.
That is true. Yeah.
That's fair.
It is Grand Nagus, though, because the scepter's there.
Yeah. That said, technically, and this is the same problem that we have with Mirror Universe, if the timelines diverged in 2024, none of these people would be... we would not have any of the same people in the 25th century.
Yes.
But that's no fun, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah. It's no fun having a whole new staff.
I haven't looked into this, but you mentioning that about Dukat's skull looking like Mark Alimo, I wonder if they had the molds from the original makeup and used that.
Oh,
that would have made sense if they had access to them.
I don't know if they would have kept it that long.
No, but it's one of those, like, it just popped in my head that would be a reason.
Or, for all we know, they may have gotten Mark Alimo to come in and do a face model.
We're going to put all this stuff on your face. And...
Mm-hmm. Excellent. I really enjoyed this episode. I thought this episode was a lot of fun. My wife didn't like it very much. She liked the first little bit of it, but the end of it, she's like, it's just what we've seen all this before, right? And Justin messaged us in our group, and he said he wasn't the biggest fan of that for the same reason. He's like, we've seen the Mirror Universe before and stuff, and it's like, yes, I do get that, but I am a sucker for it. I do really enjoy seeing this. I like seeing our characters out of the ordinary because it is not common. We see them in the ordinary all the time. It's nice to see them out of the ordinary. And I thought it was a lot of fun. It was, it's interesting to, I'm still trying to understand and I'm still trying to grasp what the heck is going on here, because he's like, this is the road not taken. Okay, so if the road not taken is them in this fascist timeline that was diverged in 2024, I don't understand how that has anything to do with the choice of Picard's. So I'm waiting to find out, right? But because if Q is bringing him in here because of the whole first episode was about Picard not reaching out to, I guess, women or something, right? Like, that's what it was. Right? Guinan's talking to him. Laris is reaching out to him, and he's denying her because he doesn't want to. We've got this history with the mum, which we didn't even touch on in this episode, now I realize. We got this stuff with the mum, and which we're assuming is the physical violence of the dad. So it's going to relate to Picard being alone for so long, but it's like, how does that choice create a fascist timeline? I don't know.
I don't think it is a choice of Picard's.
Okay.
I think Picard is just Q's pet, so he's something happened, and it's a problem for Q too, because there's the scene where Picard says, "Q, are you unwell?" So Q needs this to be fixed, and he's going to his go-to person for fixing things, and that's Picard.
So how do you address him saying this is the very end of the road not taken? Because that's a very kind of important line, it feels like.
I think the universe is probably about to end. We don't know what's happening, but I think something bad is going to happen in that timeline.
Okay. Because the road not taken implies choices.
But not necessarily Picard's choice, just a choice.
Well, but this is Star Trek Picard.
And that connects back to the whole thing he said in his speech about regretting things not how did he put it? Or getting things that he hadn't done.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think Picard was personally responsible for this alternate timeline. But I think we will find out. I certainly hope we'll find out who is.
Yeah. Okay. I'm waiting. I'm not upset. I'm curious. Okay. I can ask these questions and not be hating when I'm watching, right? So I want to find out.
My fan theory before the show even aired, or the season, I should say, even aired, is that Picard has to go back in time and stop the Bell riots from someone stopped the Bell riots, and that's what caused this. And Picard now has to keep I mean, mostly I want them to somehow bring Cisco into this.
Yes,
but I feel the fact that it's 2024, that's the year of the Bell riots. Right? The Bell riots were in San Francisco, and they say it's L.A. Okay, I realize they're in different parts of California, but they're.
I believe they said on screen though that the sanctuary districts were everywhere.
Yes,
so that's
true.
Not right.
So it's got to be something. It's too much of a coincidence not to be at least related to that, right?
And we've seen. I'm like, we saw Sanctuary District on a still or something.
Yeah.
At some point, right? So I know that it's going to tie to that. But I'm hung up on them putting so much focus on Picard's love life in episode 1, and the fact that the road not taken implies looking at another choice. Because if we look at, I just said it last week, the episode where Q makes
Tapestry.
Picard live the other life. Tapestry, thank you. If we look at Tapestry, he's showing Picard the life had he not been as careless or whatever, like had he not had that fight and whatnot. This is the life he would have had, and this is where he would have ended up. So he's showing him that choice, that lack of choice, or whatever, however you want to interpret it, had he made a different decision back in the academy, had he been more careful. And I'm guessing that's what I'm expecting this to be. So we'll see where that goes. I mean, I was expecting them to have to go back to season 4 of The Next Generation, and Picard was going to have to prevent Beverly from sleeping with Riker so that we can undo all this animosity between Troy and Guinan and Beverly, right, that we talked about last week.
I forgot about your theory about the Troy Guinan and Beverly animosity.
Yeah. Yes, because Q would be the type of person to take him back to fix that and not, fix him having to be forced to be Locutus.
The sort of thing Q would do. But
okay, so
no,
I think we're not looking at the first thing that we knew about Q and his relationship with Picard, and Picard as the representative of humanity and representative of the Federation and Starfleet. So he is to atone. Yeah. He is to atone, and he is to ask forgiveness, not for something he did necessarily, but something that humanity did, for which Q is now going to use him as that Q's going to hold him accountable. That's the only way it makes sense to me. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, so I'm going to need your guys' help on this because I'm a Canadian. The really? Confederation. Okay, so like when I hear that word, I think of the Confederate soldiers.
Yeah.
So I don't know my American history. I don't know which side is like the South and the North and whatnot.
I don't, because that was never called the Confederation. That was the Confederacy. Okay. So like I don't think Civil War at all when I hear Confederation.
Okay.
No. First thing I think of when I hear Confederation is the Confederation of the Rhine, which is what Napoleon created when he collapsed the Holy Roman Empire in 1806, but that's a whole other. The Confederate States of America and United States of America for the Civil War. I think they could be looking at that a little bit. I mean, there is.
I think of the Articles of Confederation, the Proto-Constitution.
Yeah, of course, that too, which is related to the Confederate, the Confederacy, because they use that as the example and had the exact same problems that the U.S. did, but that's a whole other issue.
Okay, well, let me ask that. If I said Confederate soldier, is that like the South or the North?
That's the South.
Confederate South was the people that wanted to keep the slaves?
Right.
Correct.
Okay, so maybe I'm not far off of that one then, hey?
No, I don't think you are.
It's possible, yeah.
No. Yeah, so, okay.
No, I totally see that association.
Okay.
Especially with we do see enslaved people.
Yes.
Romulans, yeah, enslaved Romulans.
Yeah.
So
No, people.
Bravo.
Wow,
That's
that is a callback. All right.
Lord. Okay, so this is interesting. So this is an interesting term for, instead of the Federation, we've got the Confederation. And I was surprised with this to see, like, it's going to be hard to keep focused on this one because guys, I'm sorry, I just go all over the place when I lead this. You make
fine.
a nice little list and whatnot, and I go all over, right? But I was for Rios. I was surprised to see that he was still on La Serena in this.
Yeah, that's an interesting coincidence. Yes.
Yeah. So, like, we see a ship that kind of vaguely looks like the Enterprise in that painting, but it's called
CSS
like
World Razor.
World Razor.
World Razor. And I didn't get this until Jay pointed it out. Rhymes with Stargazer.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't get that either.
Totally
I got
didn't catch that.
I picked up on that immediately.
Okay, interesting.
There's been some argument on Twitter over whether it's R-A-Z-E-R or R-A-Z-O-R, but R-A-Z-O-R makes no sense. It's got to be Z-E-R, as in raising worlds.
Yeah, as in burning something to the ground, not shaving
Right.
it. Why would you
Well,
shave a world? It's that scene from Spaceballs where all the trees are coming up.
Right.
Yes. So this thing.
Twitter just likes to argue about things for no reason.
Yeah.
What do the subtitles say? The subtitles don't matter. So.
No.
Anyway. Okay. Oh, I didn't catch that. That's interesting. The World Razor and the Stargazer. Okay, that's fine. I can go with that. That's no problem. But yeah, I was surprised that, like, she's going through all this stuff. I was expecting a Confederation ship is what I was expecting him to be on, because she's going through this list of people, right? And she's looking for somebody that she knew. Annika Hansen. Sorry, I'm just... President Annika Hansen is doing this and looking through, which was a very, very interesting point. I thought that was very cool. So, what do you guys think about Rios being on the La
It was
Serena?
interesting because, yeah, it's, at least in our timeline, it's not a Federation ship. It's a civilian ship.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that in this other timeline, it appears to be part of the the Confederation Army.
Maybe he's a mercenary.
It's possible. Well, no,
Could
because he
be.
was listed as Colonel Rios.
Oh, true.
But he was also not wearing a uniform, right?
That's true.
Of any type.
He
there.
might have been undercover of some type. He was dealing with the Vulcan front, so...
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. We don't know. Yeah. So.
Also, like, it's interesting, they've already conquered a whole bunch of other planets based on the conversations we had. Vulcan is supposed to be really close to Earth. It's interesting that they hadn't conquered Vulcan until now. Especially since Picard had already killed Sarek.
Is that a lack of conquering, or is that a rebellion?
Oh, that could be. Yeah, good point.
Yeah, because the Romulans are rebelling. The Romulus probably already has... Romulus may not have exploded in this timeline, because that was because of the red matter, right?
No, the red matter was to save it.
Yeah.
Red matter was to save it? Okay, so it was... Okay, that's right, I guess.
So no, it would have exploded already, unless they used the red matter and saved it in this timeline.
Yeah,
No,
probably
it's...
not if the Romulans are slaves, yeah.
I saw somewhere online, Nivar is in parentheses when she's looking at the thing about the Vulcan front.
Oh, interesting.
So, I think probably we can assume Romulus has been destroyed. Maybe not because of the supernova, maybe because of the Confederation fighting them. But it appears there has been some type of reunification.
When when Elnor is with the rebels, the rebel says, "And that's for Romulus." So yeah, maybe in this universe, the Confederation caused the supernova.
That's interesting. Because if they're fighting for Romulus and doing it for Romulus, then absolutely that would be something that was a result of the Confederation.
Yeah.
So, let's jump to President Hansen here. So when I saw the trailer, nothing that I thought was going to happen has happened here. Like, I assumed she'd be married to Raffi in this alternate timeline and whatnot, right? Is where they're going. And they've gone completely different by having her married to this guy that we've never seen before, this character that we don't know anything about. So what do you guys think of this?
We don't even get his name. We just know him as the president's husband.
The first
it was Larry, wasn't it?
First husband, Larry. No, that's Murph.
Murph's name is Larry?
His name's Murph?
Larry. Yeah, wasn't I was going to call Murph Larry? Whatever. The actor playing Larry, first man, whatever his name is John Briones, who is Isa Briones' father.
Oh, that's interesting.
So keep it in the family.
That's a cool little connection there.
Neat. Keeping it in the Star Trek family, bringing more real family in.
Yeah.
So that's like when they got Burnham's, or not Burnham, Sonequa Martin Green's husband in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So bringing in the characters. So
I like that.
Excellent. So
and Mary Wiseman's husband.
Yes, that's right. That's right. So how did you guys react when you found out that she was the president?
It was kind of cool.
Yeah. I didn't really...
Just kind of cool?
I had no strong reaction to that.
Okay. I was really surprised, right? I was super surprised that was the case. That she was going to be the president. Like one of the great things about this episode is this episode surprised me a lot.
Yeah.
Like there was quite a few things in it, and I'll talk about them. This is one of them. President Annika Hansen, like when I think if I remember the timeline of the episode, General Picard is like, okay, you got to go and talk to the president, and then like it's later on that we find out that she's the president, and I don't know, that just surprised me. I wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't either, but it worked in the context, because if you think about Q has maybe not created this situation, but he has manipulated it in such a way to put these people in positions where they're going to be able to fix things.
Yeah, so, I was just going to ask that question, because like it would be super convenient if all the characters that we met in season 1 were in these positions in this timeline, or is this something that Q has created? This alternate timeline?
I think it is. I think it's just a convenient, it's just plot convenience here.
Okay.
I think Q does not have as much power as we might think he does. I think I could be wrong.
Okay.
But what I'm thinking is that all Q was able to do was pull these people from the right timeline and put them into this timeline in the hopes that they can fix it.
Okay, so let me ask you this question then about Q, because this is obviously an intentional choice, but there's no flash when he's snapping his fingers. There's none of that traditional Q flash.
Oh, I hadn't even
think about that either.
So, because you saying maybe he's not as powerful as we thought, what do you think that might be an intentional?
That might very well be. And again, I'm mostly basing this on that scene where Picard is like, Q, you look unwell.
Wow.
Like that. Yeah. And the fact that Q's response to that was not to make some glib response, but just to snap his fingers.
It's time.
Yeah. Tells me that, there is something wrong with Q. Q is not the old Q that we, omnipotent, cocky Q. There's something wrong and he needs Picard to fix it.
Do you think that Q is going to make Picard a human at the end?
No.
No? Okay.
I don't think Picard needs to be made a human.
Okay.
Picard is going to be part of the Q continuum at the end of this.
That
I
is
think
certainly a possibility.
I
could
said
see
that from
happening.
the get-go, but that's...
Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard that before. I can't now remember if it was that I heard it from you or from someone else.
She said it last week.
Oh,
so.
Yeah, I know. I've said it in a number of places, but...
Okay.
But yeah, where was I? Right. Let's talk all good things. Mm-hmm. Did Q create that?
The anomaly?
Yeah, the whole situation.
I don't think he created the situation.
Okay. Brandon?
Oh, that's a really good question, and I would have to say that he didn't. I think he used the time travel as a test for Picard to see if he could figure it out, but I don't think that he did.
So,
right? Because this goes back to, like, I'm not sure if this goes back to my original thought is, like, when Q creates something, we know that Q created it, right? Like Cupid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And otherwise, there's just things going on, and everybody's like, you did this, Q. And he's like, I didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't think that he did. Why do you ask that? Do you think that he did?
I've never been sure, but I think that is... The answer to that is the answer to whether he created what we are watching right now.
Okay.
I think. But I don't have an answer for that.
He's responsible for what we're watching right now. If all that he did was bring Picard and them to this timeline, then I mean, like, the question is, where's the Picard and the Eleanor and the Raffi from this timeline, right? Like, where are they right now? But I mean, I had that same question when we had the 2-part episode from season 3 of Discovery. It's like, where's the Georgiou from that timeline? Like, right? So
at the risk of complicating this further, I have another question about Q.
Do it.
Yeah.
So Q says, "How yesterday's Enterprise of you?" Does Q know this is a TV show?
Yes.
I like how your immediate answer is yes.
Because we talked about this, Jay and I talked about this, and we established that Q is Deadpool. Okay. And so he breaks the fourth wall, no problem. But
has he ever done it before?
I don't...
No, I don't
No,
think he has.
other than, I mean, you could say it's time to end your trek through the stars, but that was directed at Picard.
Yeah, no, that's like you're all astronauts on some kind of Star Trek.
Yeah.
That's just clever writing.
Yeah.
It's not meant as a breaking the fourth wall, but by name dropping a Star Trek episode,
2.
like they do that on. Okay, In a Mirror Darkly could have been the biblical quote that it's related to, but yes, that's something they do on Lower Decks. But
yeah.
But in that case, they are breaking the fourth wall. It's yesterday's Enterprise is not a phrase that like. He could be talking about something else. He's clearly referencing the Star Trek episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which, to me, says that Q knows that this is Star Trek.
I have always thought of Q as an entity that knows that there is a universe where he is a character on a television show.
Okay.
So, Q is multiverse cognizant.
Okay.
If we're in a different timeline than the one that produces Star Trek, which people talk about it that way, then that's that. I thought it was a good misdirect because my first thought was like, oh, they're telling us that this is what happened because the Enterprise C didn't sacrifice itself with the Klingon War. And then immediately, of course, that's not the case.
But that wasn't in 2024.
No, well, but that was before we knew it was 2024. So.
Right.
So why did he say that? What did Picard say that Q said how yesterday's Enterprise of you? Because I have a question on that. Because the thing is that Picard won't remember anything about the episode Yesterday's Enterprise.
That's a very good point.
Right? So he lived it, and then it was fixed, and then he was back to right when the thing was coming out of the...
So it's when Picard... It's like almost immediately at the very beginning when Picard says, "What is this? And where are the crew of the Stargazer?"
Yeah.
And he says, "Oh, quaint, how provincial, how yesterday's Enterprise of you."
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's not even what happened in Yesterday's Enterprise, right? They're not like... Right?
Right.
No, I think it's sort of like Q is saying, "Oh, you don't realize that the timeline just changed." Sort of like how in Yesterday's Enterprise, they don't know the timeline changed.
Right, but Picard wasn't like, "Where's Worf?" Right?
Right.
So I don't know. Like, I don't know.
It's not a direct corollary.
No.
But
I don't like that they used that term in this. I don't like that they wrote that in there. And that's literally, to me, that is the writers reaching out of their television and poking me in the eyeball. That's what they've just done when they do things like that. It's annoying and it hurts and I don't like it.
Personally, I love my eyeball poked like that because I laughed I was hysterically laughing the first time I heard that line. I thought it was the best.
Yeah.
I didn't laugh, but I thought it was a good misdirect, like I said.
Yeah.
And I also laughed at In a Mirror Darkly, which may or may not have been an episode title drop.
Yeah. Well, there's the
but the term In a Mirror Darkly is not just limited to Star Trek. And
right, that's what I'm
Yesterday's
saying.
No, it's from the
Enterprise
Arthurian legend, yeah.
And before that, it's from the Bible.
Wait, I'll have to look that up. I only know it from the
I
Arthurian
just
legend.
thought Alice in Wonderland when I heard it.
Yeah.
No, it's a Bible quote. Hold on. I looked it up because I was...
Yeah, no, you're fine. I don't disbelieve you. I have to laugh at that because I had 13 years of Catholic school and I learned more about the Bible while I was in college.
Yeah, it's from 1 Corinthians 13:12.
Okay.
Read it.
Now we see but a dim reflection, as in a mirror darkly.
Yeah. Yeah. In the context of the resurrection. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It would have been okay if it was from Shakespeare, too. So
it sounds like a Shakespeare thing. I mean, but that's because, like, half the Bible quotes sound like Shakespeare things because they were written around the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you're using the King James, it's only about 20 years after.
And if we're talking about famous Bible quotes, you're pretty much always using the King James.
This is true.
Yes. So, yeah, okay, so we still don't know. There's still a mystery as to why Q's doing this. I'm wondering if we'll see Q in the past, because it's like Q is not taking them to the past. They're going to be going to the past on their own with time travel.
It seemed like he wanted to, though. At the very beginning.
Q may not be able to take them to the past. That's why, again, I'm talking about Q doesn't have as much power. It may have been all he could do to keep them, to bring their consciousness from the right timeline to the wrong timeline, and he's not able to also send them back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When he was talking to Picard before he disappeared, and the valet showed up, and by the way, it is a valet, not a valet. Mm-hmm. A valet is the person that drives you around.
Thought.
A valet is the man who helps another man dress and is his, one down from the butler usually. But yeah.
Well, it's because the valet is the French word, and the valet is the anglicized version of the French word. And in French, they use valet for the driver.
Right.
And in English, valet, because they always like to make their French words not sound French in England, is, yeah.
Yeah.
See, in Canada, we still call it a valet, but it's spelled with a U.
Where the heck do you put the U?
Doesn't matter, it's silent.
There's three of them. Okay.
Anyway, but Q said, do you want to stay here and try to fix this like Macbeth, or do you want to go back to where it began and atone and gain forgiveness? And then he disappears. And when I first watched it, I was like, oh, he got mad because Picard was all, I'm not going to play your game. Mm-hmm. But now with what you're saying, that maybe he was just putting that out there, but he was presenting that to Picard as like to have a little thought seed.
Yeah, that's what I
the time travel. Yeah.
I love that Picard tells him he's too old for his bullshit. Yes. That was great.
It's true.
Okay, I got a question about the Macbeth quote here.
Yeah.
Okay, it's been a while since I've read Macbeth.
Same.
Okay, but
it's
isn't it Lady Macbeth that's trying to wash her hands?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why is he saying like Macbeth?
Well, she's also Macbeth. She's just Lady Macbeth. I mean, she has no other name in the play, I don't believe. I think she's just Lady Macbeth.
But she's always referred to as Lady Macbeth,
yeah.
Right?
But Q is, not...
If I said Riker to you right now, right, you would think of...
Will Riker, not Thomas Riker, yes. I see where you're going.
Not Thomas Riker. You would not think of Troy... Deanna Riker.
I think of Colonel Thaddeus Riker from the Civil War.
You don't. You're just being smart with me.
Yeah.
Right? It's like... Yeah, so anyways...
I think he's mixing his metaphors.
I take your point.
Yeah.
But yes, I believe he's just mixing it up because Macbeth is the name that we know. And, yeah.
Well, and who did Lady Macbeth kill?
She killed Duncan.
King.
Yeah.
The king, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So... I don't know, like, I'm just trying to understand the Macbeth reference of, like, who's Picard killing?
Everyone. So those skulls behind
I don't think you're supposed to take it literally.
No.
Okay.
I think...
I'm looking too deep into this.
No, I don't think you are, and I'm ashamed to say that my Shakespeare is not good. And there is an element of trying to fix an untenable situation in Macbeth, is there not?
Yes.
It's been a long time since I've read it, like I said. I think it was high school.
So that would be...
Yes, I have also not read Macbeth since high school.
Okay, me either.
I did read the Klingon version.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we are on the same, but I think I had high school more recently than either of you.
I don't know. Okay.
I do have the Klingon version of Macbeth here somewhere.
Wait, is there a Klingon Macbeth?
Yeah.
There's a Klingon Hamlet.
Yeah, there's both.
Oh, it's Hamlet. Sorry, never mind.
I thought they did
Hamlet.
both.
Never mind.
Oh, whatever.
I don't know. It is Hamlet.
I'm sure people have translated many Shakespearean plays, but I think the only published one is Hamlet.
My favorite is the Klingon dubbed versions of the Golden Girls. Those are my favorite.
I have not seen that, but now I need to look that up.
I don't think that's real, but I want to see it. Well, there is the Klingon Christmas Carol. Don't
get my hopes
published.
up like that, Brandon.
Yes,
Okay.
there's a Klingon Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
I have seen yes.
Yeah. So if there is that element of fixing things in Macbeth, I think that's all he was referencing. And then the idea that Picard has a lot of blood on his hands was because of the skulls. And so I think it's just a mixed metaphor.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk a bit about General Picard here. This is one nasty dude.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Have either of you seen Starship Troopers? I'm sure you have.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
I
But
love Starship Troopers.
Did you not get a serious Starship Troopers recruitment video vibe from that?
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to think of the
Would you like
the
to know
Doogie
more?
Howser kid.
Neil Patrick Harris.
Thank you, Neil Patrick Harris. Yeah, that's what I thought of when I saw that. When he's like, yeah.
I mean, that's another fascist.
Yeah.
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 And that's why I love that movie, because they make it's clearly satire, even though the book was actually glorifying fascism.
Yeah.
I really loved how they played Picard, right? You know, and they kind of leaned into, I'm going to play up that I'm an old man, right? You know, forgive me, I don't remember your name. You know, like those kind of things. The way that they played that, I really, really liked that. I don't know why, I just loved it a lot.
It worked well.
It did.
My only concern was, in that kind of a society, if he does that one too many times, he's going to be dead. So he had a very short period of time where he could act like he'd maybe just had a stroke or something and forgotten things.
Yeah, but remember, this is not the mirror universe. This is an alternate timeline. So, like, I didn't get the impression here, like, we didn't see a lot, but I didn't get the impression that there's, like, infighting between these people looking for advancement in their careers.
Oh,
Like,
I didn't mean in that
we
way.
didn't
Quite that.
I didn't mean in that way. I meant just because you're dealing with
They don't tolerate weakness.
Yeah.
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 That's fair. So, but so the second thing that really truly surprised me and the timing of was perfect was them talking about Eradication Day, right? Where he's like, "Oh, why does the president want me there?" or whatever he said, and they're like, "Oh, because today is Eradication Day," and it's like there's just this sense of dread that drops when you hear that, and it's like, what does that mean?
Yeah, that was interesting. So did they do that every year? Did they kill the last remaining member of an enemy species every year?
They said this was a special one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I read
Usually
it.
they just have a barbecue.
Yeah. Fireworks. Yeah, no, I think that was very intentionally meant to sound like Federation Day. And
Yes.
and so you have this it is a perfect opposition. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah, I like that. I didn't catch that connection either. I'm just like drooling at the screen when I'm watching all this stuff, right? So I'm not catching all these connections like you guys are. So, but we've got here for this Eradication Day, we've got the Borg Queen brought in, and the Borg Queen is the last surviving member of the Borg, but she's also like able to sense all these differences in time. And I'm going to say again that this is another thing that really truly surprised me. I knew that the Borg Queen was in this season, but when they brought the Borg Queen out, it was a truly surprising moment for me, and I loved it. So I wasn't expecting the Borg Queen this early.
No.
I was expecting the Borg Queen because, all right, we know they go back in time. And we also, I feel like we know from the trailer that the Borg Queen was how they went back in time. So I was expecting the Borg Queen to show up pretty soon.
Okay.
I don't remember if that was actually, like, if that was said in the trailer. There was the thing about Picard's, like, there's other ways to travel through time, and then I think they cut to a picture of
And
her.
then they cut to the Borg Queen.
So yeah, I guess
Right.
that's what you're meant to understand.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah. So I I didn't think about where we were going to see her. Yeah, I couldn't help but think of Coda. Again, I'm going to bring that up. Yes. You know, it's like the Borg and time travel. And I'm sure there was some communication between, the Coda authors.
If we get Times Arrow 3 this season.
Oh, I love it.
That would
I love it. Is Jerry Hardin still around?
I think so.
Who?
Jerry Hardin?
I think so, yeah.
Play Mark Twain?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't...
Well, I mean, we already have, a reason for Whoopi Goldberg to be there if we get Times Arrow 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got the Borg Queen, and this is so weird. Like, so they're going through this eradication day, and they're trying to escape. So they've got all this other stuff going on with Raffi and Elnor together, and Dr. Girardi's trying to figure stuff out, and Rios is there as their escape. But that final shot of all of them on the transporter, I'm just like, this is so insane that they're all just standing there lined up, and there's the frickin' Borg Queen just sitting there with them, and I'm like, this is so insane.
And then Girardi just pushes the Borg Queen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And I love it. I love how insane this is. Like, it's just
so good. Yeah.
You're not plugging that into my ship.
You're not plugging that thing into my ship. Yeah, that was great.
Let's bring the gang back together, and we'll bring the Borg Queen along for a ride too. It's just like, I don't know.
It's like one of those high school reunion movies where they have to team up with the person who was harassing them when they were teenagers.
Yes.
Oh,
or we could call it, it's like Weekend at Bernie's, except it's the Borg
Weekend
Queen.
at Borgies?
Weekend at Borgies. Weekend at Borgies. Okay, so I'll hand it off to you guys here. So where do we want to go next with which character, Girardi or Raffi?
So I gotta say, when we cut to Okinawa, and we see, and I was sure when we heard about the rebellion in Okinawa, and then we cut to, I'm like, oh, this is where Girardi's gonna be, because that's where she was in season 1 in the real timeline, and I was really surprised when we see Elnor. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yes. So that was the other thing that really surprised me, was seeing the explosion of the buildings. Like, it was this beautiful shot of Okinawa, and then all of a sudden buildings start exploding. So, like, that was the other moment that really surprised me in this episode here. So we got Elnor as a prisoner, right? And in Okinawa is Raffi, right? Working as like a Confederation security or something like that. Sorry, I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. So... and so she this is the one aspect of it, like, just the way that she's so quickly connected with Elnor. Like, at one point it's like, okay, we got to get the episode moving along, but at the other, I liked how Seven did it, how Annika did it when she was connecting with Rios. She's like, you could talk to me, and the way she said it with Girardi, where she's like gazing at the stars, with Raffi, it just seemed pretty quick, right?
Yeah, but I think if you look at it
I think that also depends on the type of person they are. Like, I feel like Girardi, while being a brilliant scientist, it seems very much in character for her to be more thrown off by this sort of thing than Raffi.
Than anybody
Raffi's much more one to roll with the situation.
I have to figure there's some Starfleet training elective that handles what to do if you've been put in the wrong universe.
You know, it happens so often that there probably is.
That's funny. What to do when you find yourself in an alternate timeline? Because we see them having
to do... we know there's got to be, because it's one of the training things in the Lower Decks episode.
Oh, that's right! There you go! So, Girardi hasn't had the training. That's why.
Yeah.
Girardi hasn't had the training. Well, the alternate timeline one is the Mirror Universe, specifically in the Lower Decks, right?
Right, but... You know what I'm saying.
Yes.
It applies.
So, yes. So after that, they take Elnor back to San Francisco, right? And so we kind of all get together, and all the characters that we know and we love are all together waiting
Annika
for...
7-Shot.
Annika 7-Shot?
Shots.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, the nickname is 7-Shot. Yeah. So... yeah, she's a good drinker. She can't hold her liquor, though, as we know from Voyager timeline. So
she's probably gotten better since then.
Yeah.
While we're on President Hansen for the moment. I really appreciated the camera work of hiding that part of her face. If it had not been for the trailer, we would not have realized that she was missing the piece of equipment until she did. So that was
actually, I kind of wish we hadn't seen that in the trailer, because like I already knew what we were going to see when we saw it, because it was in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Although I feel that way about a lot of trailers these days.
Well,
they show too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's been a problem with some trailers for a long time. Anywho, okay, so here we are. We're in this position. We are almost caught at the end. We had the exciting action sequence of them having to escape and get the shields down and whatnot and get the transporters to work. But at the end, we're kind of left with they're almost caught.
Yeah.
So we're left on another cliffhanger here.
We got a cliffhanger on both shows this week.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I wonder if we're going to do this for the whole season. I wonder if we're going to get cliffhangers all season long. So it'll be interesting to see if they do that. That'd be fun. I think that'd be fun. Right. So good cliffhangers every week.
Yeah. Like we need an excuse. Tune back in to find out what happens.
So, okay. So, I mean, anything else that we need to discuss here? I mean, we've got a lot of action going on. Anything we need to address here in the episode?
There's two things I want to bring up. One episode related, one only slightly. The first is I had been hoping that we might see some Keegan Delancey in this, get some young Q. But apparently he is not acting anymore, and he works for the U.S. Foreign Service. So we will not be seeing Keegan Delancey in this show. Yeah. Apparently he was very actively involved in, and he may still be, his Wikipedia page isn't very long, in finding homes for Iraqi refugees in the last decade or so. So that's a good reason to not see him on screen. The other thing is, back to the story itself, I thought it was very interesting that we have all of this we're in a situation where we have all of this technology, and the fascism is reinforced by the fact that they're still using enslaved people for enslaved Romulans, but I'm going to include the synthetics there too, to some extent.
Okay.
And I would assume there's other species that they've
I'm sure
subjugated as well. But so they're still using enslaved people for manual labor, to the point that instead of saying computer lights, when the Annika's husband could have done that, he asks the android to go open the blinds.
Yeah, that was interesting.
So, that just kind of reinforces the whole thing. And the idea of actually having somebody scrubbing a floor in 2401, manually like that is just crazy. So I think it's a good way to reinforce the point of the fascism and the terribleness.
Yeah, I wish I didn't have to scrub floors manually in 2022.
Even in 2022, you don't scrub them that way unless it's really bad.
True.
You get out a Swiffer or a mop or something.
Right.
So
we don't have anything fancy. We still do it on our hands and knees.
It is the best way to wash a floor, but
that's how you do. That's how you clean floors in Canada.
Yeah. Every time I do it, I sing Cinderfella, 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 and it drives my wife mad.
That's adorable.
I don't quite. I mean, I
actually can see you doing that.
Actually, they do have mopping robots these days, but
that's true.
I have too much of a cluttered house for that to actually work in my house. But
I know someone who had an animal accident issue that got spread around by the mopping robot. So
that is a terrifying
not have a mopping
prospect.
robot. Yep.
I have kids, so it just break because they'd step on it and try and ride it around and stuff. So there's no point.
Yeah, there you go.
So.
Well, that's what the kids are for. Anyway, they're doing the mopping, right?
Yeah, you can have the kids clean the floor. They're closer to it anyway.
Yeah.
Child labor is not yet illegal in Canada. So.
Child labor of your own children is legal everywhere.
Yeah,
I think.
Yes. It is.
We have healthcare and child labor. It's a glorious place.
That's why you can have the child labor, because they have healthcare.
That's right. They get benefits. They get benefits paid for by the government.
What's healthcare like?
Yeah, no kidding.
It's getting bad. It's getting bad, especially in Saskatchewan right now. We have doctors quitting because they're not getting paid enough. So, by the Saskatchewan government, it's not going well.
Oh, that is a shame.
That is.
Yeah. Okay.
Of course, one would think that if you go into medicine, you're not necessarily doing it for the money, but that's a whole other.
In America, you are.
Okay. Everywhere but this insane place where we live. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Okay, any canon connections beside all the awesome D Space Nine ones we got this week?
Well, I mean, we should mention the one Deep Space Nine one we haven't mentioned was the mention of General Sisko.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
General
we just
Sisko.
mentioned that in passing, yeah.
I hope we get to see him. So I'm looking
I don't
forward to
think we're
Avery
gonna see
Brooks'
him, but that would be
return next
awesome
week.
if we did.
Well,
Avery Brooks is
I mean,
coming back
that
next
said-
week, and I will hear nothing else.
General Sisko could be Jake.
Ooh,
that's true.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Look at you.
and I don't see Cyril Lofton saying no to being on a show, so... Yeah. I like that.
And then one thing I thought was interesting is we had that statue of Adam Sung.
Yes,
Yeah.
and his voiceover about a safe Confederation is a human one, or safe universe.
Adam Sung.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh,
Which
those
is-
Sungs.
Why do we have yet another Sung? Why isn't this one just also Alton Sung? Like,
I don't know.
I don't know.
but anyway.
I mean, obviously they all had sons, so it's, just keep it going.
Brent
Father Sung
Spiner
had many
is...
sons. Many sons had Father Sung.
Yeah.
But he couldn't tell
Brent
them
Spiner
apart.
is paid by the character.
He must have
So
got
I
paid well
still
for
love-
masks.
It's also yeah, I know, right? I saw somebody on Twitter a while ago speculate that the Brent Spiner character in Picard was going to just be Brent Spiner in 2024.
That would be fantastic.
So is Brent Spiner the Watcher?
Yeah, I love it. Yes.
I feel like that's probably what that's going to end up being. Not Brent Spiner himself, but the character he's
whatever
playing.
Sung it ends up
Yeah.
being. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be.
And I apologize that apparently on every episode I will just keep talking about things I saw on Twitter, but I'm just eternally online, so that's how it works.
That's all right. It's relevant.
I am the Watcher on Twitter. But yes, I think that could be interesting if they did that. They won't, because this is I think they've tried to establish that Star Trek is not necessarily the same timeline as. But I suppose the 2024 they go back to might be a different timeline that also has a Brent Spiner who didn't play Data. That would be
You're blowing
That's
my
just
mind.
insane. That's just insane.
That's what that is. He would demand money for having used the idea from his novel that he just published.
I love it.
Yes. So I do have one question for you guys though about the Borg Queen. Am I the only one that actually felt pity for the Borg Queen?
Oh no.
Oh no, I felt a lot of pity for the Borg Queen.
No.
Okay, good. I'm like, oh my goodness, like what they're doing to her, I feel bad for. And then I'm like, but that's the Borg Queen. That's like me when I watch Man in the High Castle. I'm like, oh, that Obergruppenführer Schmidt, that he's so bad. Oh, I feel so bad for him this week. And that's what's great about that show.
That's what makes us human and not, sociopaths.
Yeah.
Speak for yourself.
Well,
Sorry, that was too easy.
I mean, technically, a sociopath is also human.
Yes, that's true.
But, no, the fact that we can feel empathy is what makes us who we are. And it doesn't matter. If someone else is bad, even if they're terrible, I'm still going to feel for them.
Yes.
Well, if anybody
Oh,
deserves
boy.
Schadenfreude, it is the Borg. So,
True.
but yeah, that was quite a pathetic figure, and the actress did a great job with that.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Excellent. Okay, any final thoughts, guys?
What do you think
I
wrong?
want more Picard.
Yeah.
I want more Picard.
What do we think's wrong
you
with
gonna
Q?
It's an interesting question. And will fixing the timeline also fix Q?
Yes.
That would be my
think so.
guess.
Okay. Yes, but how does the is one of the species that they've eradicated the Q continuum?
I don't think so.
I don't know how they'd be able to do that.
That can't be possible, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
My sister was wondering, I think it was Nikki that said it, if maybe they're all been wiped out and he's the only one left.
All the Q? Okay.
So,
Possible.
not necessarily by the Confederation, but just, I mean, anything, pick a thing.
But through something else that, by the butterfly effect or something else that happened with this timeline, also killed all the Q.
Yeah.
What if Georgiou killed them, and this is the lead up to the Georgiou show?
That'd be awesome. Because
Georgiou
awesome. Doesn't have enough blood on her hands already, but that would be quite a feat.
She kills the
What
continuum.
if, okay, so in our timeline, there's the Q Civil War that was caused after Death Wish.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we don't know if Death Wish would have happened the way it did. Probably not. But what if the Q Civil War still happened for a similar or other reason, and they did all, and without Janeway there to stop it?
That's good.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Could be.
All speculation at this point, so.
Oh, yeah.
As
I think
Tarina would say.
I think Q just ate some bad fish.
Probably. Or 10 chocolate
Could be just
sundaes.
that. 10 chocolate sundaes. Mm-hmm. Okay, well, that wraps it up here. Thad, where can people find you when you're not taking 7 shots?
You can find me on my podcast with my friend Carl called License to Spiel, where we talk about the James Bond films. That's License with a C. You can also find me on Twitter, where I am, as I said, eternally online. And that's at Tyrannicus, which is Tyranicus. And Chrissy, where can people find you when you're not mounting the skulls of your enemies?
It's not her enemies, it's her former podcasting hosts.
Oh, right, yes, I'm sorry. Well, same thing. Really.
No, I mean, there's 2 wings to the library, you know. You got
right, yeah.
enemies room, and right. So
just make sure you take a picture and send me Jay's because he's one of your former podcasting hosts. So, show me a picture of Jay's when you get it already.
Okay, that just went from funny to terrible. Still funny, but... Right, so in addition to here in Infinite Diversity, you can hear me on that other podcast I do, History with the Szilagys, and that's one that I do with my fellow historian partner Jason, whose skull I will not be putting on anything. I'm happy to chat about our shows in the Federation Council Chambers on Facebook, and I'm on Twitter at the Goddess Livia. That's TheGoddessLivia, where I tweet about Star Trek history and creeping fascism to keep with the theme of our episode. Brandon, where can people find you when you're not trying to program a cat?
You can find me here on the network with another show called Franchise Fatigue, where we cover movies, remakes, and sequels, as well as my other podcast, Good Evening, an Alfred Hitchcock podcast, where we cover all of Hitch's films in chronological order. That's all we got for you this week. This is our second episode, so we're just going to do the short outro. We don't know what next week's episode's called yet for either show, so we'll be talking about it, although my theory is That Hope Is You Part 3 for Discovery is what we'll be talking about. So, until then, peace and long life.
This has been a production of MTMR Media Works.
Right? Yeah. And otherwise, there's just things going on, and everybody's like, you did this, Q. And he's like, I didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Right? So.
Sorry.
You okay?
Fine. You all right?
Just choking on my coffee here.
Best part of waking up.
Yes.